So I'm leaning back on my chair and I'm thinking about Mrs. Piper in 5th grade, right?
Yes.
The only thing that woman ever taught me was to hate school.
I hated school anyway.
Now, I guess I have a story, don't I? Don't you want to hear a story? Okay, I'm going to tell a story about one lonely farmer's first day of 5th grade. My mommy told me that I should sit in the front of the class.
Why?
Why? Because that was the best position to learn the most. Now, I just came out of a Christian school. Yes, Christian school. Where I really liked it. You know, it was small classes, cool teachers. The headmaster was pretty awesome. Anyway, the school closed down because the headmaster was leaving and a lot of people did not want to continue the school without that particular headmaster, but he got a church and there he was going to be a minister, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, 5th grade comes, I go into Kingwood Township Elementary School. So, I go to the front of the class, pick out a seat, and Mrs. Piper comes in, our new teacher, and says, "Nah, I don't think so. You go to the back of the room." Well, but my mom told me that I'm supposed to be here. "I don't care what your mother says. I'm putting you in the back of the room." Well, if anybody knows me, I don't take orders very well, do I? I'm good at giving them. What I should have promptly told her was to just bend over and I'll show her where the ruler goes. But I didn't. I was a good boy. I went to the back of the room and there I sat for 180 days. I did nothing 5th grade. Absolutely nothing. This teacher was terrible. The only thing she was good at was screaming at kids. And anyways, later on in the year, because she had realized that I hated her guts, that she would further escalate the situation by getting this little thing that would fit on top of my desk. It was about yay by yay. My elbows used to hit it and it would fall on the ground. So they glued it fast one night with like Gorilla... Nah, I don't think it was Gorilla Glue. I think it was liquid nails. They glued it fast to my desk so I couldn't do anything with it. Like knock it off the desk. But it was blinders, like you'd put on a horse. And that was supposed to make me learn better. Well, the only thing that did was gave me freedom from the rest of the class, because then I could make paper wasps with tape and paper and rubber bands, and you could shoot them at the teacher. So Mrs. Piper learned pretty quickly that that was not the best idea to have that thing on my desk. And yeah, so probably about a month or so that I had this thing, I had made about 200 paper wasps, and I got one of those red rubber bands. I mean, if you were a kid back in 1980, what the hell year was that? 85, 84? 1980 something. It was 1980 something. But yeah, the one time I pulled that red rubber band back and it was about 400,000 feet per second, and I whack up across the room and smacked her. She spun around like lightning. Who did that? I was like, well, I had the blinder on. It wasn't me. There's no way in hell it could be me, because I was way at the back of the room. And this thing hit her with such a velocity that you heard it smack. Well, she never did find out who it was, at least that day anyway. But I had to remove the paper wasps from my desk because she was going to do searches. God, she was searching. She searched the front of the room. She didn't search the back of the room. She searched the front of the room. She actually ejected a couple kids from the front of the room to the back of the room. Like a friend of mine, Jamie. I won't use his last name, but if he's watching, he'll know exactly who we're talking about. Another guy, David. And another fellow by the name of Danny. Now you think of the three most misbehaved kids put in the back of the room with the stealth misbehaved kid, because I was smarter than they are. Sorry guys, it's, you know, it's just the truth. The truth hurts sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, and another kid, I cannot remember his name, but I do remember that they made these little needle darts, had a thread and a pin, a push pin. And you would take this thing, you'd wrap it up around your fingers like a sew, and then you'd pull it off your fingers, break the thread, and then you would twist it, put the needle through it, and then you would take the end and you would tie it off. So it made this little dart, and it would shoot perfect through a Bic pen. So there's one kid, well, Jamie, and he made a bunch of these things because we had graduated from paper wasps to darts. That's what we learned in 5th grade, was how to do this. Anyways, Jamie goes and he's going to shoot this dart at the kid that I can't remember his name. I remember his face, but anyway. He shoots this thing and misguides, and the thing goes right in the white of his eye. And it sticks there. The kid immediately goes and pulls it out, turns, looks at him, and mouths, "You're dead." And when recess came, recess is like the best time of the day because you can just, hang out with all your friends. There was a whoop-assing of biblical proportion. Jamie got pounded for doing this. But, the kid, he only had a little red dot in his eye. And the needle darts, we made like this agreement that we wouldn't shoot them at anybody because they could potentially put your eye out. So, anyway. The needle darts found their way to the cork board during, the time when they actually had chalk and chalkboards. Well, next door to the chalkboard was the cork board where you put your daily announcements and the weather report. I loved the weather report. We all had our class jobs, and this one kid, his job was to be the weatherman. So his job as weatherman was to watch the weather in the morning before he came to school and then post on the board. Well, he figured that was too much work, so he'd come into school, and every morning he would look outside, looks cloudy, and hang a cloud or the sun or whatever the heck on the cork board. So the sun became the target for the darts until Mrs. Piper, to whom I have no respect for, realized that these things were being launched from the back of the room. Well, she realized she had completely lost control of the back of the room. There was no control back there. We were just like wasps, darts, the little square footballs. It was airplanes. It was everything. She couldn't do anything about it, so she went to the principal, Mr. Halleck, who was another useless piece of crap. Got fired. They fired him. And I'd like to say it was over our class, but I'm not that egotistical. Ego-testicles? Oh yeah, the big old cojones. Anyway.
It's my job.
Alright. Yeah, I'm just fooling around. Anyways, come on, Haley. It's just a story. I gotta exaggerate it a little bit. Anyway, where was I? Oh,
Principal.
Okay, she goes to the principal, and Mr. Halleck comes into the room, and he sits with us. This is the principal. He's sitting with us, and it was like a suffocating presence. We couldn't do anything that we had been doing previously. So, on our best behavior, we were good bad boys and girls. Yes, Dulce Quiros, I miss you very much. You were a lot of fun in the back of the room. But, anyhow, Mr. Halleck leaves after a week of not catching us doing anything because we were smarter than him. We got an aide in our class to watch us. It was a glorified babysitter that probably at that time made $25,000 a year to watch us try to get away with paper wasps, darts, little footballs, and whatever else we could do. What the hell did we do next? Oh, Danny got ejected from the class. He was no longer allowed. They put him in the TART class. Skipped him ahead 2 grades. 2 full grades, this kid, for being stupid. Honest to God. Just boom, boom. They wanted me to do that, but my mom was smarter than them. They're like, "You're not doing that. He's going to be dumb. He's going to learn something." Okay. Anyways, after 5th grade, I made it a personal mission to absolutely hate Mrs. Piper. I mean, I hate Mrs. Piper. To this day, I hate this woman. And she knows it. Doesn't she, Marg? Yes, she does. Now, Margie doesn't know Mrs. Piper, but Margie has a friend that knows Mrs. Piper. And this friend bought a car off of Mrs. Piper that belonged to her mother. And Mrs. Piper told this friend of ours that she was a teacher in Kingwood School. And Haley, you're drinking my coffee.
Yes,
And Mrs.
yes,
Piper said, and our friend says, oh, when did you teach school? Oh, I taught from 1980 something to 2000 and God knows what at Kingwood Township School. Oh, you might know my friend Wesley. Pandy. And she's like, what did she say? Are you hiding again? She said something like, oh, I know him. Oh, I gave her holy hell. I mean, that woman, I put her through the ringer every chance I could get. I swear to God. I'm a Chiquita Banana, and I'm here to say how to kill your teacher in an easy way.
Eat a banana, put the peel off, and watch your teeth and go for that.
Oh, there was so much stuff. We had a body,
Actually, I'm trying.
a mannequin body. It was for health class in the corner. And it was a unisex until she walked out of the room.
Is she?
No, it was a girl when we were done with her. She had boobs and a vagina. And she come, who did that? Us four in the back of the room were clearly in the back of the room. Tom Bonus, though, he ratted on us. We kicked his ass.
Okay. I hate to break up the party, but has anyone eaten or made their lunches?
No.
You've got 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
So anyways, I was supposed to be the dumbest kid in the class, and I hated music class, absolutely.
I hate music class. I think Mr. White hates me because I'm not.
Well, they didn't offer banjo. How the hell can you play something that they don't offer? One guy said I should play the drums. I was like, oh, they're expensive, and my mom and dad are not going to buy those.
Your parents would be annoyed if you had drums.
If I had drums,
Yeah.
I had guns.
I know.
Well, that's another thing. We had guns. All of us wacko kids. I mean, we would go out and shoot deer stands out of trees. One hunter pissed me off one time, so I took a crap on his seat the day before. The day before hunting season, and I scratched into shit stinks, you know. It was really bad.
Impossible.
Dad, you realize
So-
this
Stop teaching
And my
people
kids are really
things.
good because I know what you can get into. You know, kind of
Dad, you
trouble.
realize if Miss Piper is watching this, you just admitted all those things to her?
What you gonna do? Statute of limitations on 5th grade is like 180 days. She can chooch my pants antler. I really don't care.
You don't care if she does that?
She chooches my pants antler. Well, what's a pants antler?
Yeah.
Oh, pug one. Pug one. You got one? Okay.
Joe said the other day he had two.
You got a double whammy?
No.
Make some
Was
girl
it
happy one day. Two girls happy one day.
Or two pillows.
Surprise threesome!
Oh, man.
You better cut this.
You guys are getting...
All I said was he had two.
Are you eating? Are you making